Hey, I am Jess, and I'm obsessed with all things nutrition, science, and helping you navigate this information while maintaining a deep sense of peace and empowerment in your body. I'm a registered dietitian who started out with an eating disorder and then fell in love with learning about how God intricately designed our bodies to be resilient and so much more than superficially beautiful. I am now a mama who loves to be healthy, not because of how it makes me look, but because of how it has transformed the energy I can give to my family, my friends, and you. On this show, we hit on real talk around the latest nutrition science and body image resiliency, all while balancing it between grit and grace. Think of this as your weekly audio coffee to encourage your empowered eating journey. This is the Fuel Her Awesome podcast. Hey friend, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to summer, first week of June. And I think this is a time of year that is like prime for feeling overwhelmed. Swimsuits are out and schedules are chaotic. Like if that isn't a female's worst nightmare, I don't know what is. But I thought about it and I decided that this is going to be the year that we are going to do it different. And we are going to, instead of embracing this season like I just need to get through June, I just need to get through summer, we are going to flex those empowered eating skills and be present and enjoy regardless of how we fit in the swimsuit at this point in time. So that's why I'm super excited. We are kicking off this month with a series. If you are new to the Fuel Her Awesome show, I've recently gone through some changes and we're now dropping episodes every other week, but you'll see some intermittent series that are available to you. And this is the first one, summer series. I thought it'd be a great time to talk about some of the things that are coming up, some helpful nutrition tips as we roll into this season. So you got an episode coming at you today, Wednesday, and Friday. So Wednesday, I'll be talking about micronutrients for mental mojo. We're going to get into some of like the nerdy nutrition on how taking care of our gut health and what micronutrition really builds our mental health. And if you're like, I don't have mental health issues, sister, I just want to tell you, I want to take the taboo out of mental health. Mental health is just as important as, I would say just as, if not more important than general health. And mental health, you don't have to be sick to need help. It is a matter of taking care of your skin, right? You every night, you don't wait until you have a breakout to take care of your skin. You take care of your skin every night. You wash it every night because you are preserving that beautiful face of yours. We want to do the same with mental health. Whether you're in a season where you are struggling or maybe you're in a great season, either way, tending to how we can support our mental health from a biological and nutrition perspective is really cool. So we're going to nerd out about that on Wednesday. And then Friday, we are hitting on a hot topic, which is salt and sodium. I want to do a review on these sodium and electrolyte waters that are everywhere. They're all over socials. They're in every store right now. So I want to give you a little bit of a science update on what we could do with that. So you guys ready for it? I'm so stoked. And as we go through this episode, at the heart of the Fuel Her Awesome mission is to bring soul into science. So as we talk about the science side of nutrition, which is really interesting, one of my goals is to always pull in this lens of how do you want this to fit into your life? How is this not just important on paper and in research, but how do we make it important to you? And is it important to you? So that we can look at the bigger picture and keep that bigger picture in mind. Keeping it in mind, we can actually turn that into action items for today. I'm a big fan of thinking about health from a broader perspective than just weight loss in this present moment. No, I'm here because I want to be playing soccer with my grandkids when that time rolls around. So that's what we're about here on the show. I'm really excited you're here because today we are talking about biofeedback. Now, biofeedback is really just what your body is saying to you. And I really want to break this down for you guys today. So I have to tell you, this morning I was at the gym and I've just been feeling, unmotivated. I mean, I've got the discipline piece in place, but when I get there, I'm just I'm more interested in talking to my friends than I am actually pushing my body. And so I was telling the coach this morning and I was I feel like I need a new goal, but I don't know what it is. And the coach was you need a vacation so you're motivated to look really good. And I kind of laughed because I thought that doesn't motivate me anymore. It truly doesn't. I'm not here to control my body. I mean, of course, there are parts of me that I wish like looked a little bit differently, but that's not the core driver. And so it really got me thinking. The rest of the workout this morning, I was in my head going, okay, what is my goal? Like, why am I here? Because I know I'm not going to be able to access the grit factor in the middle of my workout if I don't have a really good reason. So I started thinking and I was like, what is my reason? And you know what? It's biofeedback. I go to the gym because I want my body to feel a certain way. I want to feel strong and I want to feel in better shape as I move through my 40s than I did in my 20s. And that is something that I think I needed to refocus on. I needed to go back to like, okay, what is my body saying to me? So my body right now, I mean, it's healthy enough. I have no major health ailments. I do take care of it. However, if I'm being totally honest, like it's not feeling super strong right now. I'm coming off a major season of heavy workloads, lots of hours at work, kids not sleeping. So just a very chaotic season. And I'm shifting into this new season where I have a bit more time, more space. And yeah, if I listen to my body, it's like not saying you're superwoman, which is what I want it to say to me. My motivation when I go to the gym in the morning is I want to create a physical strength that matches my emotional energy. And that's empowered eating, friends. Getting to the root of like why we're really doing this and how we can listen and learn from our body so that we can live in partnership with our body instead of fighting against it. And I believe that the best way to do that is to listen, understand, and respond to biofeedback. So that's what we're talking about today is what is your body trying to tell you and what do we need to do with that? I'm so excited because before we dive into the topic, I wanted to let you know that I've actually put together a free biofeedback workshop for y'all. So this is like just the first initial steps on getting started in listening to your body's biofeedback and what to do with some of that information. It goes in a little bit deeper than we do here on the podcast. So if you're interested in that, check out the show notes. You guys can check that out for free. Okay, let's talk about biofeedback. One of the most catastrophic parts about having I call it food stuff, meaning like disordered relationship with food, trying to control food. Maybe we received some misinformation about nutrition. Maybe we just haven't had the time to really dive in and learn about how to fuel our bodies. But I'll tell you, one of the most catastrophic parts about having food stuff is that we start to engage in strategies on how to control our body instead of listening to it. As soon as we start trying to control our body and we stop listening to it, we create a separation between our brain and our body. And I don't believe we were created to live this way. Our brain and our body are connected. They are one and the same. Our soul, spirit, and our physical being are one and connected. They need to be working together, not against each other. So I look back at a lot of the seasons that I've been through. So in college and early 20s, when I was going through an eating disorder, my eating was so chaotic. It was so all over the place. And I was so focused on changing my body that I completely stopped listening to it. So during that season, I had to really shift gears and learn to listen to my body from a place of curiosity instead of criticism. And that was really hard. That took a lot of practice and a lot of support and people helping me through it, to grace. But once I got there, it was a much more empowering place to live. And now, even though I've done a lot of work and I do this for a living, I'll be really honest with you guys, life is real. And the last 4 years with COVID hitting and all the stress that came with that between working at home and taking care of the kids, and then I don't know about you guys, but it was like life took off. I mean, everything slowed down in 2020, and then it was like mid-2021, things went on overdrive. I mean, up until that point, I had had really clear boundaries with work. I had a really nice balance. I was really proud of it with my working mom life. But then after that, the lines were blurred and things were crazy and chaotic. So the last year or so, even though I haven't struggled with like disordered eating, I have struggled with this feeling of disconnect from my body. Like my body was telling me things it was telling me something was off and I wasn't sure what to do with it. So I was not sleeping. I struggled with insomnia for about 2 years. And then my hormones have been terrible, totally out of whack. I mean, horrible PMS symptoms, really, really heavy flows. I mean, without getting into too much of the detail, I would call it my diaper day. Like I could not leave the house for a whole day, or I couldn't be too far from a bathroom because my flow was so disruptive. It was painful. And I'd gone to doctors and just did not get any of the information that I needed. They wanted to put me on medications, which I just wanted to understand why. I wanted to know, why is my body telling me this? What is off? And I think what was cool about going through this in this season was that I actually had the skills to stay curious instead of jump into that critical space, which, me 10 years ago, that would have been really hard for me to do. But I stayed at it. It took me a while. It took me about, I would say honestly, a year to really get it figured, like what was my body trying to tell me? But once I finally listened and tried different things and I was willing to try and fail and try a new thing, I was able to crack the code. And I'm so happy to report I am sleeping fantastic. I mean, of course, there's the nights every now and again, but for the most part, I wake up rested. I'm getting consistent sleep. And the best part is that my period is fantastic. It's back. It's normalized. And what's come with that has been just some really cool things, like my hair has grown back. I don't have painful PMS symptoms anymore. It's just been awesome. And all that to say, we have to stay curious. When our body is telling us something's off, instead of going to the space of like, my body's broken, this isn't working, we have to stay curious and keep trying. You guys, I do this for a living and it took me a year to figure it out, going to doctors, trying different supplements, trying different methods with my nutrition. But I stayed curious, and I'll tell you, it was absolutely worth the investigation because I'm sitting on the other side of it and I feel so ready for this next season and this summer. It's a really great place to be. I think our culture creates so many distractions that disconnect us from our body. They disconnect our brain from our body, and then we try to use food to like regain that control. And we want our body to conform and perform a certain way. I think these distractions like intermittent fasting, the list of like you should be doing, right? Whatever that is in your head, those distractions keep you from trusting your body. And the thing about not trusting your body is when we don't trust it, we want to control it. And so again, it creates this disconnect instead of living in tandem and in relationship with our body. Biofeedback truly stands the test of time. So let's look at some questions that you can ask yourself today to just start tuning in, start listening. What is your body trying to tell you? So number one is, how do you feel physically? Are you experiencing any discomfort, pain, tension? Do you feel energetic, tired, or somewhere in between? Like, let's actually just take a minute. And as I go through these, I really want to invite you to not be critical of the answers. Like, so many times I ask folks this, like, well, how do you feel physically? And they'll say, well, I'm just in pain. And then they immediately go down the path of like being upset about that, which, we have all the space in the world for your emotions and your feelings. However, when we're trying to tune into biofeedback, what we need to do is like try to have a neutral stance when we listen so that we can interpret it like we would for a friend. So like, I think if I were to ask my son, hey, how's your energy during the day? Like, do you feel energetic, tired, or somewhere in between? If I were to ask my son that, and he would start to say, I feel tired in the afternoon, I wouldn't immediately jump to like, oh, that's such a bummer because you can't play. That's when you have soccer practice. And I'm so upset that you can't play. I mean, he might be doing that, but my job as his mom is to think from like a higher perspective and think, okay, you know what, son, I wonder if your energy dips because I saw what you brought home in your lunchbox and you didn't eat lunch. That lunch I packed you didn't eat it. Does anybody else have that? Oh, my kids, they never eat their lunch. Anyways, I stay in that curious instead of critical standpoint. And we have to be able to do that for ourselves as we work through these questions. So when I say that, how do you feel physically? We know, like, yes, you have the emotions, but we're just going to ask those emotions to like sit in the back row for a second, because we want to think more from a stance of, in a posture of curiosity on this. So let me ask it again. How do you feel physically? Are you experiencing any pain, tension, or discomfort? Do you feel energetic, tired, or somewhere in between? Give your body a chance to like actually tell you, like give your body a voice. And I would bet that if you pulled on some of these strings and went down some of these rabbit holes, you would get some information. So like, do you feel pain, tension? I mean, why do you feel pain or tension? Are you sitting at a computer without any breaks? Are you standing on your feet all day? Are you exercising so much that you don't have rest days? Are you not exercising at all, so your body doesn't have that blood flow going through it? Let's get really curious. And one of the things about this is we have to remember everything is figure outable. There's always a solution. So if you're hitting up against things like, well, I have a desk job. Okay, well, how can we work in breaks? How can we get you a sit-stand station? How can we get you on one of those bouncy balls? Like, we have to start thinking outside of the box if we're going to start responding to that biofeedback. Okay, so that's one. How do you feel physically? The second is, how do you feel emotionally? And this one is so important. I cannot tell you how many like high-powered, high accomplished women I work with that get uncomfortable with this question. It's like we want to put our emotions in a box, but I'll tell you something, sister. If there is one thing that's been revealed to me in my 15 years of working with women and our relationship with food, it is this. We cannot keep our emotions in a box and not see them play out in how we take care of our body. Like, it just happens. So we have to check in, like, how am I feeling emotionally? And, sometimes we need more support around that. Sometimes we need a good friend for coffee or a happy hour. Sometimes we need a therapist, but we cannot ignore the emotional side. It's crazy how deeply connected our psyche and our emotions are. Our physical and our emotions are so deeply intertwined. And if you think they're not, just look at our gut-brain connection. I mean, your gut changes how it digests food depending on your mood. So if you're anxious, your stomach is going to be tight and your intestines are going to be dilated. So anytime you eat when you're anxious, you're going to get full really, really fast. And then things are going to move through your digestive tract faster because you're anxious and you're not absorbing as much. So you don't get as much nutrition. They are so deeply connected. So this question is really valid. How am I feeling? How am I feeling emotionally? Okay, so those are the first two. Third is, how does my digestion feel? Like, what is happening in the potty? What's the poop report? All of that good stuff. We have to be paying attention to what's happening there. Do you feel gas or bloating or discomfort after meals? And again, if we can stay curious here instead of critical, we might be able to draw some connections to make more empowered choices going forward. Another question you can ask yourself is, how does my body respond to exercise? Do you feel stronger, more flexible, or more balanced after you do a workout? Do you feel empowered? Are there activities that cause discomfort or pain? Can we find the activities that give you that feeling of empowerment instead of that feeling of being beaten down? And I think this is something that's really it's hard for me at least. I imagine it's hard for you too. We get so competitive and we have such high expectations of ourselves that we expect ourselves to always perform the best, right? Or to be at a certain level. We forget what our body's been through. Your body today is not the same body as it was in your 20s. You've been through kids. Some of you have been through cancer. Some of you have been through divorce, breakups, disappointment, loss. I mean, our bodies have been through so much. So I think asking yourself, how does my body respond to exercise? And really giving your body a chance to say, this is what I like. And listening will go so far. So like competitive, overachieving, perfectionistic Jess loves CrossFit. I love it. It brings out that side of me that's like kind of a little crazy in the head. And you know what? That's great. That's a part of my personality that I definitely need to express. But what I've learned in the last year is I cannot expect my body to perform at CrossFit 5 to 6 days a week without taking in rest days and stretching. Like my body, when I go to yoga or when I do a stretching day or a walking day, it says, yes, Jess, like this feels amazing. That is my body telling me, and I have to have the discernment to really listen to that and respond. So now I still go to CrossFit because I love it. It makes me feel better, and it does make me feel empowered, but I've balanced it so it's not so much that I'm breaking my body down. I have rest days. I build in stretching. I'm literally stretching right now as I record this podcast. I've listened to my body. It's taken me a while to get here, but I'm listening. Okay, so we've got how do you feel physically? How do you feel emotionally? What's going on with your digestion? How is your body responding to exercise? And I've got one more for you today. What is your mental clarity and focus? This one is so cool to look at. It is so closely connected to your nutrition, your hydration. And the coolest part about this one is that most of you are so tough. You're so like in what you're doing that you will be in a nutrition fog that leaves you not feeling very mentally clear. You have a hard time focusing, but you're so driven, you'll power through it anyways. If you can just pause for a second and like give yourself a glass of water instead of another cup of coffee, or take the time to eat a balanced breakfast instead of skipping it and rushing out the door or grabbing fast food on the way into work. If you can just take a minute to give your body that extra little bump and then see how it changes your mental clarity and focus, I know you're going to be blown away. This is my favorite, one of my favorite. I have a lot of favorites. I just love nutrition. I love its impact. But this one really is cool because when people start to make changes and they actually listen to how their body responds in this sense, in this realm, how does your mental clarity shift when I am taking better care of my gut health? It's astounding. So this one is one that may take a little bit more exploration, but I think you're going to be blown away with how your eating patterns affect your cognitive function. So yeah, pay attention to that one, and I know you won't be disappointed. Okay, so these are some of the questions that I want you to start tuning into to just open this doorway, to just start listening to what your body might be trying to tell you. And this is going to create little mini invitations on how you can start to change some of your diet or change some of your movement, or maybe even change some of your lifestyle rhythm. I will tell you, a lot of my coaching conversations, I would say they're 50% nutrition, 50% lifestyle. Like sometimes we're talking about what supplements we need to adjust, and sometimes we're talking about how to slow down and be more present in the moment so that we're not, having that crazy, I call it your frenetic energy, like where you're just wound so tight, you're like an Energizer bunny, but like not an intentional Energizer bunny. You're moving through things so fast, you're just knocking things down, and you don't even know what is behind you. Sometimes it's more lifestyle focused, but either way, I will say our biofeedback is the one thing we can trust to send out a distress signal or a distress flare when our life is in an SOS situation. Our body is the one that starts to tell us slow down. Our body is the one that says, hey, we need to pay attention. This is the one piece we can always rely on. It stands the test of time. So I'm such an advocate for tuning in and listening to it. So for today, I want you to just open this door and start listening. Start listening from a place of curiosity, not criticism, and let's see what your body has to say. Maybe your body is saying something really big, like mine was over the last year with the insomnia and the hormone imbalance. My body was trying to tell me it is time to slow down, and it's time to start giving myself some of the little things that I just thought, kind of honestly, like arrogantly thought I could do without. And so what that looked like for me was restructuring my schedule, stepping away from a job and rebuilding a different life, in addition to taking time to sit down and eat lunch. You guys, I have not sat down to eat lunch for like years, and I've been doing that for the last month. It's crazy. And I would say I'm getting more work done, even though I'm taking a lunch hour. And I'm not working during that lunch hour. I'm watching Nashville. Oh my gosh, I love Nashville. It's like that little time out. But what it does is it changes my energy for the rest of the day. So maybe your biofeedback is bigger like mine was, and we had to do more of like a life overhaul, which, hey, I'm so here for that. I just had a client actually message me telling me she quit her job and she's restructuring her entire life because her body was breaking down. So sometimes those big things need to happen. Sometimes it's not quite so big or dramatic. Sometimes it's more technical, like your gut health is off because it's either gone through a season of stress or a sickness, and we just need a little bit of reset. And so it's telling you, hey, something's off. Let's get you some extra support. There's a reason I'm a dietitian and I have a job. That stuff is a little bit trickier. And so we can dive into that and get you some more tailored help. Maybe your biofeedback is telling you that there's a mineral imbalance. You have hair loss, or you're not able to focus. Maybe you're struggling with dry eye. These kinds of things may require some more rebalancing in the nutrition department. Maybe your blood work's off. Maybe you have thyroid struggles, whatever that is. Like, that is all really great information. And when we stop judging it and we get curious, that's when we can start to partner with our body to move forward in an empowered way. I'm really excited to help you as you move into these steps. So from today, I want you to take those questions and just get curious. And if you can stay in that place of curiosity and you start listening and you go, okay, I hear what my body's saying, Jess, but now I don't know what to do. My friend, this is why I created the free biofeedback workshop for you. Check it out. It's about 30 minutes long, and I'll talk specifically about energy levels and hunger hormones. And when they're saying X, we do Z. So it helps you kind of connect some of the dots between what your body is saying and what to do next. And then I have some next steps for you and something extra special for everyone who tunes into that. So check that out. The link is going to be in the show notes. Well, my friend, I am so glad you have taken this time to just listen about how you might reconnect with your body. Your body is literally the one place you will live your entire life. Your entire life. There's no escaping your body. And I am a big believer that making peace, not just making peace with our body, but moving to a place of feeling strong and empowered and capable is the life we deserve to live and we're called to live. When we come to a place of empowerment in our body, it changes everything. It bleeds into every facet of our life because now we move into motherhood, into relationships, into our career with this sense of physical strength, with this expanded amount of energy, and we can be the kind of women that I know we want to be. So I'm here for that, and I am cheering you on. Make sure you stay tuned this week. Remember, we've got some episodes coming on Wednesday and Friday, so cannot wait to see you, friend, in there. And I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you listen to your body today. We'll see you next time. Cheers and happy eating. I'm so glad you were here today. Let's do yourself a favor and write down at least one actionable item that you can take away from today's episode to start fueling your awesome. Here on the show, we scratch the surface of empowered eating, but if you're looking to dive in deeper, I would love to help you out with that. Head over to jessbrownrd.com. You can check out my free Empowered Eating Workshop. You can take a free quiz to see if your eating style aligns with your values, or better yet, book a discovery call with me to learn more about how to further your empowered eating journey. I cannot wait to be in your ear again, cheering you on along the way. Until then, cheers and happy eating.